Hi, I'm Dr. De Bruin, and this is another walkthrough of an A-level chemistry exam question from the amount of substance topic. The first step in identifying what substance we have here is going to be to work out the empirical formula. So I'm going to do this by working out how many moles of each element I have in the compound. And I'm going to do this using the mass is Mr. Mole equation. Now, strictly speaking here, it's not actually Mr. because it's not the relative formula mass, it's the atomic masses, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to write down the relative atomic mass of each of my elements, vanadium and oxygen, and use that together with my equation to work out the number of moles of each one. So I have this horrible number of moles of vanadium, and then oxygen, of course, has a relative atomic mass of 16, and I can do the same thing here to get a number of moles of 0.04. Now, empirical formula, as you know, is the simplest whole number ratio of atoms of each element in the compound. So I need to turn these two into a ratio. And now I need to simplify this to make my simplest whole number ratio. And I do this firstly by dividing by the smaller number of moles. It's important here that you make sure that you're dividing both sides by the same thing. A really common error we see is that students will divide the left side by the left number of moles and the right side by the right number of moles, and then they would just get a 1-to-1 ratio, which isn't actually what we're looking at here. So I'm going to complete that calculation, and it basically comes out as 1 to 2. Strictly speaking, it comes out as 1.01 to 2, but when you're that close to whole numbers, it is okay to round. If I had something like 1.5 to 2 or 1.33 to 2, then I would need to multiply the whole thing by 2 or by 3 respectively. But when you're less than 0.1 away from an integer value, then you're going to be okay to round. And that's going to be really, really common with empirical formulae. You're not really expecting the exam board to give you nice integer numbers here. Now, I'm not actually done because, as we know, vanadium is a transition metal, and it has a bunch of different stable oxidation states, and it produces a bunch of different oxides, and actually two of those oxides have the empirical formula VO2. So it could be VO2 or it could be V2O4. So now I need to use that relative formula mass from the question to work out which one of these it is. So if I work out the relative formula masses of those two oxides, I find that it's the V2O4 that has a relative formula mass of 165.8, and therefore that is my correct answer. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying, or at least finding useful, these walkthroughs of A-level chemistry exam questions. If you are, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments which topics you'd like me to tackle next.